This is a fantastic time for the IT industry. What I often say is IT is going from being a teenager to an adult. You just go through your daily life. Think about all the frustrations of how technology could improve your lives. That's all got to be done. IT engineers are going to go build that in the coming years. How do we make those relevant for society, make them much more sustainable? How do we make them create those magical experiences that makes life worthwhile? That's what we're about to do. That's a tremendously exciting time. So, when you look at the climate crisis, there are two specific roles that IT's got to play. The first one is IT itself has to become more net zero, has to become less of a pollutant base. And you've got tremendous amount of work going on to create greener data centers, to create greener infrastructure, to be able to create better code, which is also more efficient and reduces its own carbon footprint and so on, and reducing the amount of data we have. The second part is, of course, data is a tremendous lens into the world. How do processes work? How does carbon get emitted in the daily life of individuals, of businesses or organizations? How does that data help us transform those processes using digitization, automation, advanced IoT techniques, advanced communications, to be able to reduce the carbon footprint of daily life? So when I look at the challenges that we face and some of the hurdles that are there, the first and most obvious one is actually having access to the data. Often the data sits in proprietary spaces, hidden behind lots of legislation and controls, so we can't get to the data to be able to unlock the potential. And the second hurdle is the skills in understanding that data. Right? We think of data as just ones and zeros, but actually data, like any other raw material, has to go through a manufacturing process. And the process of taking that data, analyzing it, creating information, using that information to inform the interventions that we might drive, and then having the closed loop of validating that intervention afterwards. That skill set is really lacking in the world. Look, when I think about the energy impact of the IT industry, there are huge issues that are burgeoning, that the explosion in use of AI is creating massive need in data centers. Right? Just to give you a feel of that, over a 10-year period, the amount of energy consumed by AI in IT systems has grown by 300,000 times. And we see the need for AI to be able to double in its usage every 3 months. That exponential use of AI has tremendous value, but it has a huge environmental impact. Just as we have today in buying food, we get a calorific count. Is it about time that we put an environmental footprint count on your photos, on your digital life, and make you aware of the carbon impact of what you're doing? When I look at the challenge of governments and institutions that are going to regulate or provide policy around IT, many people run away from them. No industry wants to be regulated. But as IT matures from a teenager to an adult, the right regulation can actually incentivize and invoke the right kind of behaviors. And I think open, transparent, trusted regulation can make a huge difference. The opportunity for us to redefine how we live our lives is right now. We can redefine how we live our lives in a much more sustainable way, in a way which is much more humane and makes us want to be part of life.